One of the reasons that death is so difficult in dominant Western culture is because we don't have a space for the ancestors. We don't have a picture or an understanding of how the dead continue to be part of the community, continue to participate, continue to contribute, continue to be in relationship. They just disappear. Lights out, we call it. In traditions that have ancestor honoring rituals, often it's a day a year, maybe you go and clean the graveyards, maybe you set up an altar, maybe you have them set a place at a dinner table. Of course, there's a beautiful Mexican Day of the Dead. There are lots of different cultures that have traditions that say, this is the day we honor our dead. What it does is tells dying people that they will not be forgotten, that they will still have a place. That's the emotional thing that it does to serve the dying and to serve the living. But it also does a very important ritual task, which is create a time when the living and the dead are closer. Ritual is one of the things that kind of lifts the veil between this world and the next. And when it's a ritual that has an established cadence, happens on this day every year, we can all kind of set our clocks to it. The dead know this is a time we'll be available and awake and aware and open to them. And we know this is a time we can connect. So it's like a meeting place in time where these ritual practices and the way they're repeated create this field where the dead are once again part of the community.
Okay, so hard agree on that. And this is why in witchcraft and folk magic and ancestral practices, it's difficult to connect with your ancestors. And I get that question all the time. Like I don't feel like I'm connecting with my ancestors. It's because they don't know your calling. In our culture, if we had a day, a dedicated day, that as a living person, you know that that's the day that we honor the dead, then when you pass on, you know that day is the day that you come back to visit the living, just like the way they do in other cultures, especially like, the Mexican Day of the Dead. That is the day that the ancestors know that the people are going to be calling them and aware of them. Because we don't have that cultural tradition, that's why it takes longer to connect to your ancestors. That's why you have to keep coming back to the altar. You have to keep making offerings. You have to keep lighting the candle, because you're gonna have to make a few calls before they answer the phone. But then once they know you're there, they keep showing up. So